The Watchmen Program funding the Job Act. Funding for the President's Job Act can be easily accomplished. The Watchmen Program Economic Job and Revenue Plan will provide the approximate $500 billion needed and a great deal more. The FAA, FEMA, and other agencies under the Department of Homeland Security with budget shortfalls can be met. Also, the U.S. Postal Service demise, with the threat of 120,000 job layoffs pending, the Watchmen Program can help bridge the gap for our official mail services and many other troubled agencies. Department store corporations such as Walmart, Home Depot, Sears, Target, Costco, Lowe's Home Improvement Centers, and others will provide the initial financing needs of the nation. These economic centers will generate the revenue needed to fund not only the President's Job Act, but to serve to solve the budget crisis in many of our cities in every state throughout the Union. Major corporations will sponsor 10,000 centers established nationwide, giving upwards to $25,200,000 per quarter. A little over $100 million per year times 10,000 green information centers equals the potential revenue of $1 trillion on an annual basis. Now, an approximate 1,000 jobs will be produced to operate the communication centers. Mathematically, 1,000 jobs to be filled times 10,000 centers equals 10 million jobs created. Potentially 10 million jobs can be accomplished within the first year's completion of the centers. The Emergency Economic Job Training Centers will house the federal and local authorities in every major city and state throughout the Union. Government department agencies such as the police, fire department, search and rescue teams, and federally Homeland Security, FEMA, the CDC, and other vital agencies like HUD, Housing Authority, city redevelopment agencies, and other departments will serve citizens within the cities these centers are placed. Moreover, our U.S. Postal Service will have an official mail office within the 10,000 centers set up in every major city across the nation. Many of the laid-off employees will have first priority to be newly employed within these new mail offices. A plethora of services will be provided to give the citizens vital and upfront information on not just what they should do regarding a terrorist attack or threat, but help to buy a home, or better yet, to keep their home. Guidance and direction for job training or starting a new entrepreneurship business, as well as marketing their goods and services overseas, will be provided. Now, a magnet of activity and opportunity will be generated in and around these health and information green centers. The corporation which sponsors the emergency centers will enjoy a very generous return on their investment. Nationwide, the college and universities will also greatly benefit. Bidding construction companies building the centers for the corporations sponsors will establish a joint venture with our higher learning centers from coast to coast. School partnerships with the construction companies will help students learn new innovative building technology in construction, establishing the new green portable facilities industry nationwide. Our portable economic communication centers will be green gridless facilities. The offices built within these facilities will not need to be hooked up to any outside local power source. The portable information centers will operate on their own renewable energy power sources. Again, this new facilities industry will be portable and flexible enough to move from place to place. If a fire, flood, earthquake, or civil unrest takes place, the entire center can be moved away from the troubled areas or closer to the epicenter to help citizens with their emergency needs. A display of multiple use facilities, units utilizing the same gridless green technology, will be available for sale around the center. Encompassing the 10,000 economic job training centers, there will be a display of a home, school, office, medical clinic, and portable farm unit. These multiple use facilities will be sold to the general public and corporations domestically and internationally. High revenues from the new facilities industry displaying within the parking lot locations of the stores who sponsors them will be a magnificent benefit to the sponsoring corporations and the cities in which they're placed. All construction equipment and supplies to design, manufacture these facilities will be available within the stores which sponsors them. Everyone benefits, and the revenues are shared equally, 30% to the city, 30% to the state, and 30% to the federal government. 10% goes back within the system to maintain all the facilities. Again, our colleges, universities, and trade schools throughout the country will be on the front lines of this new technology. The schools of higher learning will benefit greatly from the joint ventures with the construction companies as well as the students themselves. Perhaps students will be given internships with the construction companies or be paid direct for their services. The Watchmen Program Benefit Summary. Funding for the Job Act will be completely financed by the $2 trillion in new revenue generated by the Watchmen Program in record time. Number 2, over 10,000 emergency economic job training and information centers will be set up nationwide. These centers will provide a nationwide warning system uniting all first responders across the country, federal and local. Number 3, 10 million new jobs produced from coast to coast within the first year's completion of the Watchmen Program emergency centers will be accomplished. Number 4, in every major city, $100 million of potential new revenue will be generated with every emergency communications center established. Investment earnings for corporations sponsoring the centers will more than double. Number 5, an estimated $1 trillion nationwide will be generated, 30% to the city, 30% to the state, and 30% to the federal government, with 10% to maintain the centers on an annual basis. Number 6, every city within every state throughout the Union will be generously helped to reconcile their books regarding the budget crisis most states and cities face countrywide. Number 7, domestic services from public schools along with police, fire department, search and rescue teams, libraries, city parks, and many social programs will be able to continue operating, meet payrolls, and maintain employment levels within all major cities across the nation. Number 8, a new green facilities industry will be built. A display of a new home, schools, offices, emergency clinics, and portable farms will be set up around the economic, ecological, gridless centers in over 2,000 cities. Number 9, billions in sales from the new zero-grid facilities industry and billions more generated, weaning old facilities off the grid will be established. Number 10, our colleges and universities having joint venture partnerships with construction companies, designing and building the centers along with all the new green zero-grid facilities will be an enormous benefit. Students within our higher learning institutions will not only learn firsthand this new green facilities technology, but earn income now and establish job employment relationships for the future. Number 11, a new water and power industry will be systematically set up and standardized throughout the nation. Biofuel water desalination purifiers and biofuel power generators and trucks will operate the entire facilities industry. This new industry will be established not just domestically in America, but internationally as well. Number 12, local and federal agencies such as Homeland Security, FEMA, the CDC, and locally the police, fire department, search and rescue teams will have offices within the emergency centers. Emergency agencies will train first, second, and third responders throughout the nation. All citizens will be given the opportunity to know what to do and how to do in an emergency, disaster, or terrorist attack. 13, cash-strapped government agencies such as the FAA, FEMA, and the U.S. Postal Service will benefit directly with revenues earned from the Watchmen Program. Our postal services will also have a post office located within the centers. Male employees which operate these facilities will be paid directly from the revenues generated within the centers. Most of the 120,000 postal employees with threatened layoffs can be accommodated within these communication centers. Number 14, a new nationwide infrastructure of biofuel, hydrogen, and natural gas stations will be another vast revenue generator, richly fueling our economy. The Watchmen Program will establish a new global green facilities industry, regulating and advancing zero-grid technologies, utilizing renewable power sources, all academies built on the systematic foundation of 10,000 emergency information economic job centers is the solution. 10,000 fuel stations established in every center will provide billions in new revenue shared by every city and state in the Union. This new greens facilities industry produced by the Watchmen Program will not only be an irreplaceable revenue generator for our federal government to pay down the debt, but also an economic boost to help the international community reconcile their books as well. To review, the details of this Watchmen Program proposal plan, please click on the link provided below. The economic jobs revenue plan are spelled out within the pages of Reconciling Us a Revolution. My direct contact is 626-243-8200. Email is help@worldemergency.com. My name is Chuck Thompson, Director of World Emergency.